The squirrel is running. The squirrel is running. We're good. Quick little mic check. I don't even know where we start, man. All I know is that a couple days ago, I was so off my equilibrium. Like, this was something that was explained to me from a therapist friend of mine, actually. Like, she's a really, really good therapist, and this was explained to me. And she said that, you know, a lot of times where we feel like we're so distracted and it's a lot going on and we stressing out, we're just off of our equilibrium. We're just off of our equilibrium, basically. You feel me? So she said that anytime that we feel like we're distracted, we're running all over the place, we're stressed out, all of these type of things, we're just off our equilibrium. It's not even necessarily like we're going through anything. We're just off our equilibrium. And I said, what do you mean by that? And she said that there's a comfort zone that we are continuously pushed to get out of, right? And from a business sense, it's very, very beneficial. You feel me? You can't succeed in business and in life without getting out of your comfort zone. But when we talk about the equilibrium, it's certain things in the comfort zone that just make you you. So getting out your comfort zone for the sake of you isn't necessarily a good idea. Perfect example is like the reason that I felt like I was going through it was because like I didn't dribble a basketball in how many days? I haven't, you feel me, lifted a weight in how many days? I haven't played the game in how many days? I haven't talked to this person in how many days? I was just off of my equilibrium. I was completely outside of what I'm used to. That's what was driving me crazy. But the moment that I refocused on that and I said, you know what, let me get back to being myself. Let me find myself again. I immediately started feeling better. And I said, damn, like, the comfort zone is meant for if you want to elevate, if you want to do things in the world that you haven't done before, that's completely fine. But anytime you feel like not yourself, you got to get back into your equilibrium. You got to get back into your comfort zone. I'm always pro comfort zone for that reason alone. Are we serious right now? Is this what we doing in the HOOGA? Is we getting back to the old school, the way we used to really do it? We can talk about anything tonight, man. Like, the conversation can go anywhere. And it's like, yeah, I felt like I was off of my equilibrium. I felt like I was enjoying myself, but I just felt like I was very, very much so inconveniencing myself to have a good time, which is completely healthy. I feel like to have a good time, you got to inconvenience yourself from time to time. You feel me? That's fine. But I felt like that was really, really the move. Like, every day, I'm like, man, like, let's go enjoy this day type shit, because I'm distracting myself from holes in the floor, right? So when we talk about holes in the floor, you're going to continue to step on them. You can't cover them. You can't put a rug over them. You have to fill them. You have to fill them. You have to fill them. And it's like, that's what trauma is, right? It's like you age, you feel what I'm saying? But certain parts of your personality, certain parts of you hit a wall, and those never ever age. So then you react to that when you see it in the world, when you get near something that's familiar, you react to it at the same age that it got cut off. You feel me? That's what real trauma is. That's the definition of trauma. It's a hole in the floor that you never ever filled. And it's like, to avoid that, you gotta attend to it. You feel me? Like, you gotta attend to it. You have to feel it, because a lot of the times, man, like, we don't even know how badly we ruin other people because we never ever deal with the stuff within us. You feel what I'm saying? It's real. You feel me? It's really, really real. My homie, I ain't gonna say his name, like, he really stepped away from a really, really positive situation for him because he was in pursuit of taking care of himself. Now you gotta ask, was he right or was he wrong? Truly think about it. Was he right or was he wrong? Was he wrong for making the best decision for himself? It's like, you never really know, right? And it's like, that's the importance of taking care of yourself while still knowing that if you don't take care of yourself, you hurt somebody else in the process, because that girl didn't deserve that. The girl didn't deserve to get thrown to the side at all. You feel what I'm saying? But it's like, it's definitely two sides to that coin. You feel me? It's a whole bunch of other shit that's going on inside that. And it's like, regardless of him walking away and taking the time for himself, it's like he still went and did what he had to do necessary to take care of himself in the future. So then, beautiful for him, he spins the block and he gets her back. he gets her back, right? And we've been cracking a joke for the past couple of days. He like, bro, man, I thought I was locked in. She came back with a 6-pack. And I said, bro, what did you expect her to do? Yeah, she was finna go lock in. Yeah, she was finna go focus on herself. Yeah, she was finna come back better. Now, you better not play with her. You better not play with her, bro. You see what she's capable of. You see what she's on. You better not play with her. You feel me? And vice versa. You feel me? She better not play with you. She better not put you through the same things or do the same things that she was doing too. That's the reciprocity of what a generous relationship is supposed to be. I can go on and on about this one, though. I can go on and on about this one. Jordan Peterson, this is a guy who is probably one of the most influential people on the planet, like at this moment. And he is so smart and so influential, and his views are so individualized that he refuses to run for certain things or do certain things in the world because he just doesn't want the mess that comes with it, right? So I listen to a lot of his speeches. I listen to a lot of his interviews. I listen to like all of his views. You feel what I'm saying? And he spoke about power and aggression, right? He spoke about power and aggression, and it was a very powerful thing what he said. Hold on, let me light this candle before I get in this bag, because this is what I feel like is this is where I feel like this, how do I, it's like I feel like women get the short end of the stick based on what I'm about to explain. But then at the same time, I think it's just what a man is. So let's talk about aggression, right? So aggression is always good for a man to have, regardless. You feel me? You need a man who has aggression. You need a man who is competitive because they're disagreeable, and then they can progress in the world and actually be successful. That's why aggression is good, right? Now, this is the thing about a woman. A woman naturally will want a man who has aggression and who has the ability to take it there. Why? Because women need providers, right? Women need somebody who they can actually walk around with and know that if something pops off, you feel me, this guy will step in. So that's why aggression is attractive to a woman. But it's a thin line that they got a tightrope against. You feel me? A woman has to tightrope with a man because that aggression may not always be managed by the man. You feel what I'm saying? That man may not always know how to manage that aggression. So I feel like women get the short end of the stick in that, right? Where I feel like women who have any type of aggression or whatever the case may be, I feel like that they have the mental capacity to manage it, tame it, you feel me, and take care of it, you feel me? But I do know for a fact that the aggression levels in a man exceed the aggression levels in a woman. You feel what I'm saying? While emotionally and mentally, we aren't as developed as a woman is, you feel me? So that's something that I learned from Jordan Peterson. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Aggression. So then it's like any woman that's attracted to aggression, you feel me, right? Like as a woman should be, she should be attracted to aggression and a man who can protect her. But that can sometimes be mutated into a man being powerful over everything around him, and then that'll eventually bleed onto her. So let's talk about power versus authority. This was something that I told my little homie this morning. The difference between power and authority is that power is I'm going to strong arm my way into getting what I want. And a lot of times, you feel me, it works out for men in their favor, right? But something that Jordan Peterson said was that the backfire of that is that you can have a bad day as somebody trying to be powerful, as somebody trying to be the big guy. A motherfucker can gang up on you and take you out. That's the downfall of trying to rule with power, right? Now let's talk about authority. Authority is needed in reciprocal, generous relationships, right? Like we can't be friends if I don't hold any type of authority in your life. Now, this is what I mean by authority. I'm not talking about parenting the person or having a permanent say-so over somebody's life. I'm talking about like you're in this person's life for a specific reason, and they come to you in good faith, in decency. They're coming to you for something good, right? So authority is being able to stand in somebody's life and serve a purpose, right? And now you have to go to that person for whatever the purpose is that they serve. That's what authority is, and that's what you want to be for a woman. You want to be an authoritative figure for a woman where you provide something specific, like you have a niche within a woman, and that's what love is, right? It's like you love this person for this thing initially. Like you're around this person for this thing. that eventually turns into so many other things. But it's like a lot of the times we don't love people correctly is because we're not loving them for something specific. You got to love them for something specific. You got to serve them in something specific, right? Before you try to do everything. So it's like with authority, you need to serve people in a way that nobody else can serve them. You need to serve your woman in a way that nobody else can serve, right? That way, that woman, if she needs somebody to take care of her, if she's sick, if she needs somebody to drive her, she needs business advice. I'm finna just keep on going deeper when I give examples. If she needs business advice, if she needs mental advice, if she needs some encouragement, if she's injured and she's in a fucked up jam and she has nobody to call, she needs to call somebody who has authority in her life. That's what authority serves, and that's what you always want to be. I don't care about what can't nobody put a negative connotation over that word. That's what authority means. It's serving a specific person in a specific way every single time, and can't nobody serve this person in that manner. That's what authority is. And that's what I was telling my little homie. Like, my little homie was like, man, I'm having trouble with my woman, right? Like, he's having trouble, you feel me? They going through a lot of stuff and all of these type of things. And I'm like, bro, like, your situation right now is that you're focused on too many things. Like, you're focused on serving her a million different ways because she's really playing games on you and just seeing really how much shit she can get out of you, right? Which she's not wrong for doing. You feel me? She does need to be served. She does need to be courted. She does need to be treated to just like you are, right? So she's not necessarily doing anything wrong for trying to see how you're going to serve her. With that being said, you trying to wear all of the hats, you'll never serve her in any way. You're working too hard. So I'm like, bro, find something. What does she need? What is something that you can do right now and you can do it every single day and never miss? That's what you need to do. And then that way you built some authority in her life. She knows what to call you for. You feel me? She knows what to call you for. And then with that, you'll start streamlining that process. That's what any hard worker, that's what any competent person would do, is they'll work on something enough times to know the best way to do it. Right. And then eventually you'll open your mind up to new things that you can do, nuances, ways to do this differently, ways to do this in less time, ways to do this times 10. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like with your woman, it has to be the same thing. And that's how you properly serve your woman. You feel me? But that's like hard work. That's the hard work piece of it. You feel me? So when a motherfucker say a relationship is hard work, that's what they mean. I got juice in the wine glass tonight. Shit hit. It's like, yeah, man, I've been in the bag. I've been in the lab. And I've been watching some very interesting stuff. Like, I've been watching some worldly stuff as of recently. I'm supposed to be going back to DC the 27th through the 29th to be on Donnie P's show again. I'll be with Donnie P again on the 27th through the 29th. It's gonna be lit. So everybody tap into that. You feel me? Y'all know what happened the last time I seen Donnie P. We had some amazing conversation. We had some amazing content that came from it. It was dope. So we'll be back the 27th. I think that weekend at some point. Yeah, shout out to Donnie P. She just was at TikTok too. She was just at TikTok. She just did a really good job at TikTok. She was doing all type of fancy stuff. Shout out to Donnie P. But yeah, though, and it's funny that we talk about Donnie P because something that she asked me when I was on her show was, how do I feel about people, men? She said specifically men, but I'm gonna say people. How do you feel about people who aren't emotionally stable being in the world dating, right? And I say all of the time that the emotional intelligence, the emotional stability thing is only a percent of people. You feel me? So making that the mandatory bottom line up front is a stretch. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you'll miss out on a lot of genuine stuff thinking that way, but I do understand that it's an important thing. I truly believe that I don't mind it at all. I definitely think that when people are single and when you are dating and when you're single and doing all of these type of things, I think that you need to take care of yourself more than you take care of anybody else that you're trying to kick it with. And this is what I mean by that. This is a beautiful example that Jordan Peterson, mind you, I've been fucking so deep in Jordan Peterson videos. It's like crazy. Pause. But so Jordan Peterson, he basically said that the um a what's the word? It's like a branch off of the golden rule. So the golden rule is to treat others how you would want to be treated, right? And he basically said that that's a very, very hard thing to do, right? If you really, really look at it from a deeper point of view, you treat people the way that you want to be treated. So first thing that we think is, okay, cool. Well, I'll treat everybody nice, but do you really want everybody to treat you nice? Right? You'll think like, okay, cool. Like I'll agree with what everybody says. Do you really want to do you really want everybody to agree with what you said? Right? And it's like, you don't want to live a life or be with somebody who doesn't challenge you in any type of way, right? Because that basically means like you don't want to be with anybody like that, right? It's like it's not an uphill way of living your life. You feel me? And we're built to walk uphill. That's what type of people we are. We're built to do things and strive and all of these type of things. But that doesn't happen if you don't put yourself around people who are disagreeable, who are inspired, who are motivated, those type of things, right? And it's crazy because it's like when we talk about what love is, right? Like when we talk about what love is, how you should treat the person that you're with, the easiest thing to do is to just treat them nice all day, every day, and never, you feel me, tell them what they need to hear, and never tell them things that's going to advance them in their career, or tell them things that's going to remove cancers from their life. Like that's the easiest thing to do, right? Because it comes with no turmoil. It comes with no turmoil. It's going to be the easiest thing to do. But to love somebody while still pushing them toward things that you know that they can do, or encouraging them to try new things, or motivating them to do things that they can't necessarily see themselves doing. It's like that's the way you want to be treated. You feel me? Like you want to be treated that way. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and that's what the branch off of the golden rule is that like, okay, cool. Like if you were to have a small child, this is an example that Jordan Peterson said. I'm sorry, I'm gonna talk about Jordan Peterson the whole night. But if you were to have a small child and it was your job to treat this child the way that like the way you would want everybody on the planet to treat this child, how would you treat them? Would you never discipline the child? Would you never tell the child no? Would you never smack the shit out of the child? And I'm just being 100. You feel me? I come from the trenches. You feel me? This is how I was raised. I done got smacked as a kid. But would you never do those type of things? You feel me? And it's like, if you say that, then it's like, what type of life do you think you would live? Want some real, like, Yeah, we're going deeply intellectual tonight. I've missed y'all, by the way. I've missed the TikTok lives. I feel like the TikTok lives be busting. We be in here, we be having a good conversation. Should be a vibe. All right, I'm gonna check and make sure that I'm recording real quick, cause y'all know this shit be tweaking. Y'all know my shit be tweaking. Yeah, yeah, I gotta get a swear jar. Can somebody make me a swear jar and send it? Can somebody make me a swear jar and send it? Cause I really do need it. I ain't gonna lie, I really need a swear jar. But instead of dollars, cause I never have cash, every time I swear, I need to hurry up and find a piece of paper and write I will not swear on a piece of paper and put it in the jar. That's the deal. Because I ain't going to always have cash. But I always got some type of paper. That's a bet. But what type of questions y'all got? Let's start up a conversation. Let's go a direction. What type of questions we got? Squill, you want to jump in and ask the question, gang? Squill, you online? I actually have something that already has dollar amounts on it. Talk about selfishness. Ooh, selfishness. I think that selfishness comes directly from how you were raised. I think that selfishness comes directly from how you were raised, right? Let me say the type of people that I'll never be in the same room with. I'll never be in the same room with people who never ever had to be humble before. Never ever had to really, really depend on somebody else before. I'll never be in a room with somebody who never ever had a little bit and still broken in half for another person, because that shit starts to show, and you'll realize that it's a lot of shiesty people in here. A lot of people out here playing for keeps. A lot of people who make decisions solely off of how it will affect them and never ever think about how it affect other people. Like selfishness is something that I feel like should not be taught to a kid. You feel me? Like, that's why, like, even I don't care how down I be, right? Like, I don't care how down I be. Like, I still give it away because I'll never let things or, you feel me, like fake shit control my interpersonal relationships, bro. Like, I'll never do that. I'll never let that happen. I never let that happen. I was just telling my little homie this morning, right? And this is some real game. I was just telling my little homie this morning. He's basically in college, you feel me, and he just started cutting hair, but he also plays football, right? And he basically said that he's making quadruple the money that he was making barbering now than he was before when he started football. And he feels like he's so like stressed. You feel me? He's tired. And we did a mental health check and he said he's a 5 out of 10. And his reason was because, you feel me, things were picking up, things were moving fast, you feel me, and it was hard to manage. And I looked him in his face and I said, you're lacking discipline. That's what it is. You looking in the mirror making it seem like you want to stop doing it because you're not motivated, or you feel me, like this is going on, or it's some type of outer source. Like, no, bro, you're lacking discipline. Now, why are you lacking discipline? His answer was, you feel me, it's not even like I'm lacking discipline, but it's just so many things going on and I just can't like attend to it. So I said, okay, well, let me tell you why you're lacking discipline. Because you're prioritizing this fast money. I wouldn't even call it fast money, but this money that's coming in based on your barber and stuff, right? Like, that's your main motivation right now, right? But the reason that can't be your main motivation is because you signed up for school, for one. Secondly, you're on a scholarship to the school, for 2. And 3, you're trying to make your side hustle your main hustle before you even finish your main hustle. Like, your main hustle is on a time clock. You feel me? Your main hustle can really expire, but you're locking in on something that could be long-term. Your side hustle, it could be long-term, but you're prioritizing that over the main hustle for what? And his answer was money. Money. His answer was money, right? Okay, cool. Now let's dive into why money is so stupid and why I feel like we should change the way we view money and why I feel like money is, I don't like money. Let me tell you why I don't like money. This is why I don't like money. We got people prioritizing the short-term easy stuff and sacrificing the long-term stuff. This is something that my bigger cousin told me too. He said the reason why he can't do business with a lot of people, because he's in real estate, he's in the development space, and he does all of these type of buildings and all type of shit, right? And he said that the reason why he can't do a lot of business with people is because they only see short-term success. They can't lock themselves into doing something that won't pay out for the next couple months, for the next couple years, right? But he said that's where the real money that he makes lies, right? So I told my little homie, I'm like, bro, like, your degree should definitely come first. Why? Because if you get that piece of paper, you automatically solidify yourself in the world, regardless. You have letters by your name, period, right? But I'm not even telling you to stop hustling. I'm not telling you to stop hustling. What I'm telling you is wake up an hour earlier and go to sleep an hour later. That's what real niggas do. You don't complain. You don't look in the mirror and say that the odds are stacked against me. You don't do none of that shit. You wake up an hour earlier and you go to sleep an hour later. You feel me? And that's what it means to really be locked in. I promise you that the whole entrepreneur thing, the whole like trying to go your own wave, the whole trying to really improve yourself, it don't come with no excuses. It don't come with no excuses. It don't come with no excuses. And the thing is that this is what he don't understand is that you feel like it's a lot right now. You feel like it's a lot right now because you're learning and you in it and it's working and it's doing well and you're doing things the correct way. And now you looking at stress and you labeling it as something that's going to make you quit. If you view it as stress, if you view you working hard and you waking up an hour early and you doing what you're supposed to do consistently, if you view that as stress, you're going to quit. You're going to quit every time. That's the recipe of quitting. It's viewing the things that just come with it as something that's hurting you or affecting you in a negative way. No, this is just what comes with what you asked for. So I told him, I'm like, bro, like you better double down or you can kiss that shit goodbye. Don't ever pray for motivation. Don't ever pray for inspiration. Don't ever pray for a motherfucker to help you. Don't ever pray for a handout. Don't ever pray for none of that. Pray for discipline. because that's something that you can, once you get it, you can control it. Once God gives that to you and says, here's the gift, and show up for it every single day, once that's established, he takes his hands off of it, and then it's on you. Once that's established, it's on you. And that's how I talk to the little homies. That's how I talk to the men in my life, right? Because I feel like that's how men should be spoken to. Now, we can go to some game that I gave a woman. Let's talk about some conversation that I've had with a woman, right? Like, because I'm loving this whole life coaching space. You feel me? So if you haven't already, life coaching is now linked up in my bio. Please go to my link in my bio and schedule a call with me. We're going to talk about some amazing stuff. We're going to connect, and it's going to be all about you. It's going to be completely confidential. It's going to be the start of my practice. So go to my bio, book that call. You feel me? We'll talk about anything. But, you know, like, I got some amazing women in my life, man. I got some amazing women in my life. They all serve completely different purposes. And I got some amazing women in my life. You know, it's finna get deep. It's finna get deep. It's finna get deep. It's gonna get deep. It's gonna get deep for sure. You know, I had a woman break this down to me. Right? She basically taught me something that I never knew and something that I'm going to utilize moving forward in this dating world. So I always felt like she was on something weird. I always felt like she had a lot going on, all of these type of things. And I'm so big on communication. I'm voicing everything as it comes up, lighting her up on every single offense, right? And she basically, out of nowhere, told me she was done with me. Cool, right? And I asked her why. And she said that she labeled herself the problem. She labeled herself the problem and the central theme of all of these things that I was bringing up to her. So I'm like, no, it's not the problem. It's the principle. It's this, it's that, it's this, it's that, right? I'm trying to complicate it. But the fact of the matter is that she really was sitting there listening to the things that I was talking about. And everything that I was talking about was linked. Every single thing that I brought up was linked to one specific thing. And all she did was make herself that one specific thing. And it's so mature of her to do that, because the one thing, the one opportunity that's given to you when you are the problem is you have the ability to remove the problem. And that's exactly what she did. I can't even be mad at it. That was player. I can't even be mad at it, right? And that's what maturity is. Maturity is knowing that you are too much for this person or too less for this person and removing yourself. That's real humility. That's what humility is. For sure. You feel what I'm saying? You know? I left a relationship where I was pushed into being cold-hearted because I'm not a placeholder. You know? It's like, can't be mad at a lot of stuff, man. A lot of times motherfuckers just make decisions that are best for them. You can't even be mad at it. You can't even be mad at it, man. Because at the end of the day, what would you do? What would you do? That's our problem, is that we treat other people better than we treat ourselves. Every single time. I'll never understand it. I always say that we'll give our last before we accept somebody's last. Right? And I've opened my heart to, if somebody is generous enough to offer me their last while I'm on my last, we're going to break it in half, and I love them forever. I love them forever for that, right? But we'll never do that. I don't understand why we'll never do that. And then we'll never understand why we're not progressing and why we not really having those interpersonal relationships that we're supposed to having. Let me tell you something else, is that there's cultures that live in this world. I'm not going to name them because I don't want to start anything, but there's cultures in this world that really figured it out. I realize that every single day, a lot of the people who I encounter, a lot of the families that I see, a lot of these cultures have figured it out. They really have figured it out. And the way that they figured it out is that they have nothing but a whole bunch of reciprocal, generous relationships. Their interpersonal relationships is so fire. That's the one beauty that I see in fraternities and the frat houses and all of that, is that these people who are growing up with all of this knowledge, they get under the same roof. And then when they do proceed and go into their life and succeed in business, the first people that they go to for partnerships, for lawyer help, for financial help, any of these type of things, they go to the people who they can also receive something from. Right? But you never ever will have that authority in somebody's life if you will never give it when it's not always convenient for you. You feel what I'm saying? And that's back to the point that I was making when it comes to like what it means to have delayed gratification. Like gratification that comes after the fact is, man, sometimes you really got to do the work without respect, like without expecting anything in return. Like, can you really do that for the people around you? You feel me? For the people that you love, like, could you really, really do it without expecting anything in return? And that's how you get blessed every single time. That's how I come back tenfold every single time. That's exactly how it comes back. I was talking to my little homie today. This is another conversation we had earlier. So he cracks a joke and he says that I'm rich. He cracks a joke and says that I'm rich. I'm not rich. I'm not rich at all. I'm a normal dude, right? But I understand how it looks. I understand that it may look like I'm rich and all of these type of things because I hang around other people who carry themselves really, really well, right? So we all collectively just carry ourselves well. But let me tell you why he's not all the way off when he says that I'm rich. It's because a lot of stuff I don't necessarily need to work on. A lot of stuff I don't necessarily need to explore because I found people in my life who can explore that for me. They hold a authority in my life, right? I have a homie who is a lawyer, so I don't even have to really fact check things or, worry about things. When I read it, I can just send it to him and he'll take care of it. I have a homie who is really in the streets, who will really step on something for me, like who will really put in some work behind me for real. That's the purpose he serves, right? I have a homie who's a creative, who, if I really have an idea and I need to expand on it, me and him sit down and we talk and we have conversations. And I'm the homie who, anything emotional, if we are going through something, if there is a conversation that we're uncomfortable having, if there's anything like that, I'm that homie. So rich might really be the word to use. But he's thinking so superficial, money, green rich. I'm talking about just rich as a human. Just rich as a human is having people around you who hold real authority in your life and trusting them with it. And if you do take an L, you can't even be mad at it. That's what happens when you open your heart. When you open your heart, you're gonna take an L from here and there. Like from here and there, you're gonna take. Wait, what's the term? Here and there. Every now and then, you're gonna take an L. That's basically what I'm saying. Every now and then, you gonna take an L, but that is just what comes with having an open heart. But if your heart is closed and you're not trusting anybody and you just like, man, forget everybody, you'll never ever really know what it feels like to have somebody really serve you in the way that you need to be served. That's what it means. That's what it means. You feel me? We in the HOOGA. You know? But yeah, man, if y'all want to talk about anything, man, y'all just got to go to the bio. Go to the bio, book that call. Book that call immediately. What type of questions we got? Squill, you ready? My fault, Squill. Hold on, let me set you up, gang. Quick commercial break. Oh, quick commercial break, and then I'm gonna do a voiceover of some call to actions. Squill, you can hear me, folks? You ain't even locked in, bro. I ain't know you, man. Hold on. NCAA don't work more than that. Hold on, wait. I'm finna tell you when to say something. Hold up. We're gonna do a mic check. Say something. Something. One more time. Yeah. One more time. I said. Say, yo. Say that. I don't know your name, but excuse That shit tough. All right, that's enough, brother.
My fault, bro.
All right, you green. All right, you on the mic with Mike.
Oh, what?
Nah, man, we in here talking it though, bro. I don't know if you was a part of the conversation or not, but we've been in here talking
Bro,
it.
I've been a part of the conversation this whole time, reading that story you told about your homie who spent the block. He might be the GOAT.
Oh man, bro.
That boy might be the GOAT.
Look, my homie spent the block on this girl, and it was successful. It was very, very successful. I'm very happy for him. But now I'm finna drill his ass. So let's have a conversation. Look, bro. So the original reason that oh yeah. I can't go down. Woo! I'm on your ass though, cause this is what we not finna do. We not finna play with her. You feel me? We not finna play with her. We not finna play with her because that's pointless, bro. That's pointless. That was pointless. So we not finna play with her. Listen, everybody worldwide, if you gonna spin the block with a purpose. You feel me? Spin the block with your intentions clear, because when you put somebody through turmoil and the hoops and the hollering and all of those type of things, you automatically fuck their head up. And now y'all both go y'all separate way. And the first thing y'all do is lock in. The first thing y'all do is put y'all head down, work on yourself, and do what y'all need to do to be able to attract the person that's meant for you in this situation that you're in your life, right? That's the whole point of being single, is really, really taking care of yourself. The fact of the matter is that while y'all was single, she took care of herself. You took care of yourself. She ain't hit you. You hit her. So take care of her. You feel me? I ain't saying that the intention has to be marriage, but the intention has to be definitely take care of her, protect her, and don't do whatever the fuck you did the first time.
Listen, first of all, like I told you millions of times, one, this whole thing is planned. Like I knew from the day we stopped it, we locked in. We still locked in. I'm gonna spin this block. Watch this. Like I'm about to put my head down and go. I'm gonna spin the block for sure. What did I do? Put my head down and spin the block. I'm locked in though. I don't know. I feel different. Like it's a different feeling.
Nigga said I feel different. Okay, we gonna see. We gonna see.
I ain't Google all. Come on,
Good.
All live, bro. And that's easy for me. Like that was just easy. Like I'm not stressing that at all. I'm not missing nothing.
Man, but yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. We've been in here talking about all type of stuff, man.
Man, you got all type of stuff going on. Can you have the chat drop?
What type of questions you got, gang?
I'm not loading up no old questions. I'm not scrolling up to find old questions. I do remember one question. Somebody asked, would you move out of your apartment if you went through a heartbreak in that apartment?
I mean, when my lease is up, yeah, but nah. When my lease is up, yeah, but no.
Not just based off the.
Not just based off the heartbreak, nah.
I get you.
Nah.
Even
Not
if that
me.
person was
Not
like
me.
part of that space, like every day.
And it's been that before, you feel what I'm saying? But the thing is that you just got to get your space back to your equilibrium, you feel me? So I understand. I really believe in energy. That's why when a breakup, bro, ain't nobody sleeping fresh off of a breakup. Anybody that is, you feel me, that person was never even really in the space for real. They was there for a reason, but that person wasn't invited into that space. That person wasn't invited into that space to be themselves, right? So if a motherfucker just sleeping smooth, fresh after the breakup, then that person never really even meant nothing. But when we talk about like fresh after, bro, it's gonna be hard to adjust getting your space back to its equilibrium. You feel me? But at the end of the day, that's what being alone is. Being alone is sitting with yourself, getting your energy right by yourself, doing it by yourself. You feel me? So after a while, and that's what, you feel me, when people say like how long after a breakup until you good again, you really never know. I honestly think that it's when you get back to your equilibrium, when you get back to doing the things that really, really made you you. And a part of that is when your space gets back to being your space. You feel me? That's the ultimate, like, oh yeah, I'm good. You feel me? And then with that, you'll protect your space. You don't let anybody just in your shit. You feel me? You very, very, very possessive over your energy and your spirit. That's how I'm coming. Like, I'm very possessive of my spirit. Like, hell no, you can't come over here and shake my peace. You can't do that.
No, that's a fact.
Can't.
Somebody asked, are you spinning the block, Masionoo?
Am I spinning the block?
Yes, would you spin the block?
Yes, I spin the block.
My God, thanks.
Yeah. Spinning the block it's a dangerous game to play because a lot of the times you miss the fun, you miss the enjoyment out of being around this person, you feel me? But then that disrespect, that other stuff that came with it, it reminds you why you left in the first place. So spinning the block is one of them things where it's like you need to go back knowing within yourself that you can accept the bullshit that came with it the whole time. You feel me? Like you gotta walk back into it knowing like, yeah, that's what come with it. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, that's how I feel about spinning the block.
Amber asks, what's the difference between selfishness and self-preservation?
Selfishness and self-preservation. So I believe in having secrets. I believe in having things that's near and dear to you. With that being said, though, that has to be definitely vocalized, and it has to be reasonable. It has to be vocalized and it has to be reasonable. So if you have a thing where you feel me, you sleeping in the bed with this guy every night, but you refuse to, I don't know, like that's a bad example. Like, okay, for instance, like acts of service, right? Let's talk about acts of service. So when we talk about selfishness is like you letting somebody do all of the serving on their end. So they're the one cooking for you. They're the one cleaning for you. They're the one, taking care of you. And when it's your time to do it, you're hesitant, or you're protecting your resources, or you're not really trying to do that because that's just not who you are, right? Like that's what I think is the difference. Like that's what I think selfishness is. It's like, come on now, like do for other people what they would do for you, right? And we've been talking about reciprocal relationships the whole night. You feel me? Reciprocal like relationships. That's what it is. It's generosity. It's like what's mine is yours, for real, for real. But I move like that with everybody that's in my life. My homies, my brothers, my sisters, my friends, my girl, it don't matter. You feel me? Like if we around each other, what's mine is yours. Like I'm not finna ask you, you feel me? That like I'm just not that type of person. When it comes to self-preservation, I think that there's certain parts of people that they don't give another person access to because they feel like once they show that side of them that they'll be manipulated, right? It's a very, very clever protection technique, right? Like it's a clever way to protect yourself, right? But the problem with that is that if somebody is not protecting themselves in that way, right, and they're presenting themselves in that way to you, it can come off as you're not reciprocating the energy that they are, and then it's very, very mature of them to walk away from you, right? But you're not wrong, you feel me? Because I bet that a lot of people who do block off parts of themselves, they have been manipulated in the past, so it makes all of the sense in the world. That's like a defense technique. Absolutely. I get it. I get it for sure, but it definitely backfires. It backfires every single time. Because a lot of the times I know, the things that I'm willing to do for somebody, or the things that I'm willing to, like the places, like the limits that I'm willing to go for somebody, right? Like I know that. So it's like when you don't get that in return, you feel me? Like you really get turned off. You get turned off easily,
No, that's a fact. Somebody asked, what advice would you give to someone whose ex texts them, but is not consistent with his words and goes ghost?
I mean, just leave them alone. Yeah, like it's like a lot of y'all questions. You feel me? They answer themselves. Like do you want? Just think golden rule, right? Like think golden rule. You feel me? Like how are you treating this person? Are you doing this to this person? Are you going ghost on this person? Are you shutting down on this person? Are you doing any of these type of things? So then you got to ask yourself, is it fair for those type of things to be done to me?
Dumbass nigga. Phone on D&D.
Nah, folks, that was the Amber
Turn that
Alert.
off, bro. Turn that off, bro.
Yeah, but my fault. That just fucked up what I was saying. But yeah, though, it's like if you don't want those, if you wouldn't do those type of things to somebody else, you feel me? It's like I don't understand how you could accept it from somebody else. That's crazy. It was a tornado warning in Chicago.
Hey, I can come sleep with you tonight, bro.
Nay, boy, I was scared as hell last night with the tornado, though. So I ain't gonna lie.
Come on, bro. Big ass raindrops hitting the windows and some more shit, bro.
But yeah,
I can't
though,
sleep with you, bro.
nay, boy.
Oh, that's a freak. Amber asked, what ways do you handle rejection in life from anything, relationships, career, etc.?
The way I handle rejection, bro, I hate rejection. I don't handle it well, but I get my get back on rejection by really becoming what they hoped I was or what they thought I couldn't be. You feel me? I still show up as myself and still accomplish things and do things that they didn't believe that I could. You feel me? That's the ultimate revenge. That's what Dame Dash talked about. So Dame Dash said that he's been kicked out of schools. You feel me? He's been spoken to one way. He's done all of these type of things. He said he said that people would tell him that he's not enough. He wasn't capable of this, like all type of things, right? And Dame Dash in return, he goes back to the same communities. Like he's a multimillionaire, right? He'll go back to the same communities and then teach the kids what they need to be able to progress through the systems. You feel me? That he also lived in, right? So he has a curriculum where he teaches like taxes. He teaches like the stuff that you really, really need to like win in the world, right? The stuff that the schools don't teach you. And he said that his motivation in that isn't to go back and shit on the kid, shit on like the teachers and like, you know, like flash his shit in the teachers' faces. He said the ultimate revenge is to teach the kids. You feel me? Teach the kids and get the kids to be able to, you feel me, maneuver through the same world, but with the correct tools. You feel what I'm saying? And that's how I feel. It's like, if a motherfucker tell me no, I view it as your loss, right? Like, that's really how I view it. I view it as like, you know, I'm going to walk in the room and show up and show out. I'm going to enter the relationship, show up and show out. I'm going to be my absolute best self. In any event that me being my best self is not enough for you, then I'll just calmly walk away. And I'm just going to view it as your loss. You feel me? You can view it as my loss. That's completely fine. That's how we going to have our peace. You feel me? That's probably what it costed for us to be removed from each other's life and actually align on the path that we needed to be. It probably really took for you to tell me no. Like, it really, really probably took for you to tell me no. I probably needed to hear it. That's cool. Now I'm finna go turn up. I've been told no plenty of times. I've been turned down by plenty of girls. I've been failed in plenty of things, right? But I still lock in. And I still lock in. And I still don't take my foot off the pedal. And I just view it as like, they lost. They'll see.
Nah, we get shit done for sure.
Coco Jones said, I got quotes from everybody, by the way. Coco Jones said, who would she be if God gave her everything she prayed for? She'd probably be big head. We'll probably hate her. Same. I feel that.
Oh. Why don't men address their childhood trauma?
You said, how do men address their childhood trauma?
Why don't men address their childhood trauma?
I think a lot of men do. So I think this is a very generalized question. So let's say a lot of men do. Let's talk about the men who don't. The men who don't, the fact of the matter is that monsters in the closet are scary. Monsters in the closet are scary. And the fact of the matter is that I can listen to other people's traumas all day. I can listen to other people's traumas all day. But have you ever really, really sat with yourself and thought about some shit that you did in the past? Or thought about a mistake that you made? Or thought about some dumb shit that you said? Or an embarrassing moment in your life? And you cringe, you feel me? You be like, ew, like, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to go through that. But the fact of the matter is that you have to go through that. You have to deal with that to be able to progress in the world. You feel what I'm saying? But the reason why a lot of people don't is that reason alone, because the monsters in the closet are actually scary. Feel me? You can't be mad at them about that. A lot of people are very, very damaged and very, very hurt people beyond measure. All of us are. You feel me? That's what Sonder is. Sonder is the idea of everybody, even the casual walker in the street, the completely random stranger. We all go through shit and we all live a life just as complex as the next person's. You feel me? So it's like, if we all throw our problems in the pile, like, I'm reaching in to grab mine's back. You feel me? Every single time. I don't want anybody else's problems. And you have no idea what another person has went through. So it's very, very naive for us to speak on somebody else's problems as if we're bigger than them. And that's the problem with communication, right? That's why a lot of people, when they do get into a conflict resolution situation, the problem is that the person who they're addressing their troubles and their situation with, the first thing that the person on the respondent end does is offer a solution. And all that means is that that person is trying to get a moral victory over your problems, basically saying like, yeah, I'm bigger than the things that you go through, right? So that's why solutioning when you are trying to work through a situation with somebody doesn't necessarily work, because you're not bigger than the problem that I have. And I'm not bigger than the problem that you have, right? But the way that we work through the problems that we have is we just sit back and listen, and we don't try to improve the home. We don't try to solve the problem. We don't try to get to the bottom of it. Well, get to the bottom of it, of course, but you don't try to remove the problem as if like you're bigger than the problem. Like you're not bigger than the problem. You feel me? Jordan Peterson said in the interview, he said that sometimes we got to remember who God is. Sometimes we got to really remember that we're not God, that we aren't the person who can solve somebody's issues. But the best thing we can do is sit in the mud with them and really sit with them while they go through it. That's the best things we can do. But I'll never, ever approach a situation and hear somebody voice how they feel or what they're going through or what their situation is and think that I'm the person who can solve it. Because the fact of the matter is I have no clue. I have no idea. I really don't.